welcome. It's me, Percita, and this is Percita's Paradox. Here we are. It is Tuesday, new week, shining bright. How was your Father's Day? Ours was fantastic. He enjoyed himself immensely, and let's just be honest, that's all that matters. My kids loved on him, and there's nothing better than to see your children interact with their father. I hope that yours, if you have a father that you could still celebrate with, or a person that you find yourself loving on as a father figure, had a wonderful weekend as well. If you're new to this channel, thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate you, your time, and your willingness to come and allow me to speak to you today. I greatly appreciate you. And if you are a subscriber that has been with me through thick and thin, through all of my ups and my downs, and you continue to come every week, thank you, thank you, thank you as always. You are awesome. As you all know, I am coming to you with my usual spiel on Tuesday. And today I just wanted to talk to you about this thing called intuition. And what I mean by that is that I want to find out what you actually feel about the word. And when I say it, it's kind of crazy because so many people have played it in their head to feel as if intuition might not really be a real thing. And I say that because so many times when something goes wrong, people really stand in this position or this mental space of like, I don't really know what happened. I didn't see it coming. And then I'd like to say, in your mindset of watching things transpire in your life, are you really paying attention to all of the little signs and the little flags? And are you really just lacking the ability to utilize your intuition? I just want you to think about that for a second. In the interim, if you've made it this far, please be so kind as to hit the like button. Make sure that at the end of this video that you comment and feel free to give me all of your thoughts, be it good or be it bad. Continue to share and absolutely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So, business off the table, let's talk. I am a strong believer that intuition is really one of those things that we don't want to really address. And what I mean by that is that we always have a reflective, right? Hindsight is 20/20. We always want to feel, as if we didn't really know what was coming. But truthfully, there's this little thing that I realize sits in our spirits. And I know it sits in yours because it sits in mine, and 99.95% of all of us are made of the exact same attributes, right? That is a scientific fact. Trust me on this one. So if that be true, then we all have this thing that we know when something's happening, when something shouldn't happen, when you should do something different, when you shouldn't do something different. It's kind of this innate scenario of almost arguing the scientific fact between nature and nurture, right? And trying to identify like what really is innate in you and what is something that you really learn. I'm going to believe and still wholeheartedly stand on the position of I believe it's innate. I believe we all come equipped with what's right and what's wrong. And I say that because I really feel like intuition is one of those things that we just don't seem to know that we can utilize. And when we think of it, it's always in hindsight. I'm just going to keep stressing that point. So I want to see if we can do better as a collective group, right, on this paradox of ours, and figure out a way to utilize our intuition in a preventive manner. And you might say, well, what would be preventative about it, Percita? Well, let's just think about it. I mean, can we actually slow down and really pay attention to the things that are happening and the things that we want and the things that we're doing and the things that we're not doing, and then really paying attention to the cues of life? And you might say, well, where are the cues coming from? They're coming from life. They're coming from interactions. They're coming from symbols. They're coming from all kinds of things, all kinds of dreams, all kinds of affirmations that kind of transpire between individuals. I mean, have you ever been in a position where someone said something to you and you thought it might be important? You weren't quite sure, but they said it. And in your mind, you were like, that's really interesting. And then randomly, a whole other person who's never spoken to the person that told you what they told you before says the exact same thing. And in your mind, you want to say to yourself, there's something in that. There's something that I need to really understand, but you literally just put it off to the side. That's like the intuition that I'm talking about. The intuition of there's something in that. There's something to that. There's something I need to pull from this information that I'm not pulling. Could it be that we're not really moving as swiftly as we want in our successes and in our gratifications of life because we're just not utilizing those small intuitions, those affirmational, confirmational moments, those things where you can feel it. I can't even explain it any deeper than that. You can just absolutely feel that you need to be doing something else or being somewhere else or saying something and you just don't. Have you ever thought that that could be the key to the stagnation of what it is that's going on in your life? Now, don't get me twisted. In saying that, I'm still telling you that you are going to get all of what is yours, regardless. I'm asking, could you be in a position where you would have more of a smoother transition or smoother road towards what you're trying to do, more so than catching all these detours because you're not using the intuition? And it's interesting when you think about it like that in life, because there's so much I think we need to address in what we really do know. We tend to lean on this idea of this common statement of, I don't know. Everything is, I don't know. You know, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to live? I don't know. And it's like, you do know, but there's some sense of energy that comes off of us that doesn't want to express it. And maybe that has a lot to do with the fact that you don't want to say it and then somebody laugh at you or judge you, or you say it and it doesn't come to fruition and you're in fear of that, or whatever it is. But have you ever stopped, just ask yourself, if you actually just did the little things, the quiet things, the small things that you clearly know in your spirit, in your mind, in your actions, in your dreams, in your conversations, whatever it is, you clearly know you should. Could your life be moving better, smoother, clearer, more peaceful, more powerful? I don't know. I'm just coming at you today because there's just something that I pondered over the weekend. I know that I tend to try to do things the way that I see them. And by doing that, I don't necessarily open my mind up to the intuitional things that transpire every single day. I don't do it simply because I'm continuously looking at the blueprint that I've written for myself, that things should be the way I've written it. You've heard so many times people say, write things down. And, you know, if you haven't written it down, then it won't really transpire. That's very true. But the one issue with writing things down is that we kind of get transfixed in how we feel like it should be. And in that, we're not very flexible in understanding that life is audible. If you know anything about a sport, let's just use football as a great example, since I said the word audible. If you know anything about football, when you go into the huddle, clearly the quarterback is going to call a play. He's telling everyone on the field, all 11 people, this is what the play is. This is what we're going to do. This is how it works, da-da-da-da. Once they break and they go to the line and they find themselves in their positions, and the lineman and the defense is where they need to be and the quarterback is in place, he looks across the scrimmage line and he notices that the opponent is positioning himself to do exactly what the play is. At that exact moment, he has to call what's called an audible. And in that audible, you have to be prepared to shift again. The only way that you know what the audible would be is that you would have to have a flexibility and understanding that the plan may need a backup plan and a backup plan for that. Some call it plan A, plan B, etc. Right? What I'm asking is, when we get caught in an idea of what something is, are we really able to then be flexible if we need an audible in order to achieve the goal? I'm going to tell you for a fact, I know that I'm a 50% person on that. Can't tell you at all that I have mastered that skill, because if I think it's supposed to be a certain way, then I'm going to really push for it to be a certain way. I may damn near kill myself trying to make sure that it's going to be that way. And then my brain kicks in slow as Methuselah and says, hey, by the way, there's a whole nother way to do it. Matter of fact, I told you about it not too many moons ago and you still ignored it. And then I came back and told you again, and you did not use your intuition on all of the things that were manifesting, that were leaning you towards the other angles and the other blueprints that I gave you, because you were so transfixed on what it is you wanted And when you're that transfixed on any particular thing, be it a person, be it a job, be it something tangible like a car or a house, you really can't see if it's good for you or it's not good for you. And I know that sounds terrible, but that's really the truth, because there really could be dangers that your intuition through your experiences of life are trying to teach you or tell you to not repeat or to not actually execute. And it's so complicated sometimes to just get out of your own way and hear yourself speak back to yourself. I just wanted to share that because I really decided in my life that I really have to do what it is I'm saying to people to do. And I know that might sound crazy, but you know what I found out? A lot of people who give advice are still absolutely crazy. I know that sounds funny coming from somebody who's actually almost on what I would consider an advice channel, right? But what I'm saying is that I don't want to be the type of person that does not live the life that I'm preaching. I don't want to be the type of person who is not living within herself to not say that if you asked me or you watched me or you saw me, that you would not see the words transpire. Like, manipulation is not what I want to be. I do not want my words and my actions to not line up. So in saying that, then I'd have to understand that this is definitely something that I want to work on, and I want to work on with expedient excellence, meaning I want to put forth an effort to really make a deliberate attempt to correct it. And I'm asking you because I'm wondering, is it something that you may possibly struggle with and that you don't really know how to approach it, or if it's really going to be that big of a deal over the long haul? Let me be the first to say it is absolutely a big deal. It is absolutely something to really pay attention to, because then I start to even understand from a spiritual level, like there's always a door out. You're never put in a position where you don't have another option. I know that because the entire world is built on free will. And with that being said, then there's always a yin to a yang. There's always two sides. There's always another angle. And with that being said, I want to make sure that I'm doing it. And I want to make sure that I am absolutely sharing my journey about doing it. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm telling you that you should also do it too. Now, what you do is what you do, but you'll never be able to say, I didn't tell you. That's just who I am. So that's what I wanted to say today. I wanted to come in and talk and, of course, give you all of the love and tell you how much I had, so much fun in talking about all of what we talked about over the weekend to family and friends, and at the same time to come and share what I shared today. So when it's all said and done, you know what I'm going to say? The only thing that I can tell you that you have to start with before you do any of the things on any of the videos that I'm talking about is 3 things. Live life authentic. Live life authentic. It's crucial. It's necessary. It's got to get done. Do it, and do it deliberately. Do it unapologetically. Do it with the intent to understand that you are enough. You are awesome. You are amazing. Always know it. If nobody else says it, always come back to a video and know that that is what I'm going to say. No matter what I'm preaching, no matter what I'm pushing, no matter what I'm saying on my soapbox, understand that you are worth it and you are amazing. So, as always, thank you so much for joining me. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe to this channel. I greatly appreciate you. I'll see you on Thursday. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.